It was a normal morning in New York City. The sun rose behind the tall buildings, painting the glass towers gold. People walked fast, coffee in their hands, cars honking in the busy streets. No one knew that this would be the last peaceful morning on Earth. Captain Ryan Cooper, U.S. Air Force pilot, was on his way to the base outside the city. He had just returned from a mission overseas and was planning to visit his family that evening. He smiled as he looked at his phone, a picture of his wife, Laura, and his 8-year-old son, Ethan. But suddenly, the sky changed. It started as a soft red glow, like a strange sunset in the middle of the day. Then, the clouds twisted, turning black and orange. People stopped walking. A deep, thunder-like sound echoed through the city. Windows began to shake. Ryan stepped out of his car and looked up. At first, he thought it was a meteor shower. But then he saw it, a massive dark ship breaking through the clouds. It was huge, miles wide, shaped like a floating fortress. Around it, hundreds of smaller ships appeared, moving fast like a swarm of metal insects. The sky was now burning red. Within seconds, the ships opened fire. Blue energy beams shot down from the sky, hitting buildings, bridges, and streets. The ground shook as explosions ripped through the city. Screams filled the air. Ryan ran toward the nearest military van. "Everyone, get down. Take cover," he shouted. He grabbed a radio. "This is Captain Cooper. Unknown hostile crafts attacking New York. We are under static." The radio went dead. All over the world, Paris, Tokyo, Washington, Moscow, the same scene unfolded. The entire planet was under attack. In the Pentagon, generals stared at their radar screens. Thousands of unidentified ships were everywhere. The U.S. president was rushed to a secure location. A global emergency was declared. Back in New York, Ryan helped people into a subway tunnel for safety. A young woman cried, holding her child. "What are they? What do they want?" Ryan didn't answer. He didn't know. Moments later, fighter jets roared through the sky. He looked up and saw American F-22s firing missiles at the alien crafts. But the missiles did nothing. The alien ships had a strange blue shield that deflected every hit. In seconds, the fighter jets exploded one by one, burning pieces falling into the streets below. Ryan's heart pounded. He knew he had to reach the Air Force base. He found a military truck and started driving through the smoke and fire. The streets were full of destroyed cars, people running, and buildings collapsing like paper. At the base, chaos ruled. Soldiers were shouting, trying to load weapons and data drives. Commanders yelled orders. "Evacuate! Evacuate!" Ryan ran to his commander, Colonel Davis. "Sir, what's happening?" Davis looked pale. "They're everywhere. We've lost contact with half the world. They call themselves the Xel'Thar. We received one message from them." He pressed a button, and the speakers played a deep, robotic voice. "Humanity will surrender or be erased." Then silence. Ryan stared at the screen. Surrender? To what? Before Davis could answer, an explosion shook the base. The alien ships had found them. Ryan and the others ran for cover as the ground split open. He jumped into a bunker just as the entire airfield exploded behind him. Dust and smoke filled the air. When Ryan opened his eyes, he saw flames everywhere, planes destroyed, soldiers down, everything burning. He coughed and crawled out of the bunker. The sky above him was a storm of fire. And then, he saw something, a small metal sphere lying near a crater. It was blinking faint blue. Ryan picked it up carefully. It was some kind of alien drone, damaged but still active. The lights blinked faster when he touched it. Suddenly, a strange static sound came from it, like someone trying to speak through broken radio. He froze. A voice whispered through the static. Help us. Ryan frowned. What the hell? We are not your enemy. Then the drone shut down. Ryan stared at it, confused and terrified. Were the aliens asking for help? Or was it a trick? He didn't have time to think. Above him, more alien ships appeared, heading toward Washington, D.C. The entire sky now glowed red and orange like the Earth itself was burning. Ryan looked around. The base was gone, his team gone, his world falling apart. But deep inside, he felt something stronger than fear. He wasn't going to surrender. He grabbed the broken drone, jumped into a damaged Jeep, and started driving toward the city. If there's even a chance someone's alive, he muttered, I'll find them. On his way, he saw cities in flames, people running, sirens echoing through the smoke. Every radio channel was silent. Internet gone. The world was falling into darkness. But Ryan didn't stop. As he drove through the night, lightning flashed across the burning sky. The alien ships moved like black shadows above him, silent and deadly. He looked at the small drone glowing on the seat beside him. That strange voice repeated in his mind. Help us, we are not your enemy. Ryan gripped the steering wheel tighter. He didn't know who to trust anymore, humans or aliens. But one thing was clear, this was not just an invasion. It was something much bigger. Something that could destroy not only Earth, but the entire universe. The night after the attack was silent. The whole world had gone dark. Cities that once shined with lights were now empty and burning. The internet was gone. Satellites were destroyed. Only a few military bases still had power. The rest of humanity was hiding, broken, scared, and waiting for answers. Captain Ryan Cooper drove through the ruins with the damaged alien drone beside him. Every few minutes, he heard the same words echo in his head. Help us, we are not your enemy. He needed to know what it meant. After hours of travel, Ryan reached an underground base hidden in Nevada. It was one of the few places still active. Fort Unity. The air smelled like oil and metal. Soldiers and scientists worked non-stop around giant computer screens, trying to understand the alien technology. As Ryan entered, a young scientist with brown hair and tired eyes looked up. Captain Cooper, she said softly. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, Xenotech Division. Ryan placed the drone on her table. This thing spoke to me, he said. It said they're not our enemy. Emily's eyes widened. Wait, it spoke. Yes. In English. She stared at the sphere and whispered, then it's not just a machine. It's a message. For 2 days, Emily and her team worked non-stop to decode the signal. The drone emitted strange frequencies that no human computer could read. Ryan stayed close, watching the screens flicker with alien symbols and light. Finally, one night, something changed. The room went dark, and a hologram appeared, blue and ghostly, showing the face of an alien. Its eyes glowed silver, and its voice was calm, almost human. I am Taran of the Xel'Thar Resistance, the message said. We did not come to conquer. We came to survive. Everyone froze. Taran continued, the main Xel'Thar fleet follows a dark force called the Void Eater. It destroys worlds, eats energy, and leaves only silence. We came here to find shelter. But your planet has what the Void Eater wants: an energy. The purest source of life. Emily leaned closer. They're running from something. Taran's hologram flickered. If we fail, your world will be next. Help us stop the Void Eater, and we will help you survive. Then the hologram vanished. The room was silent again. Ryan looked at Emily. So you're saying the invaders are refugees? Emily shook her head slowly. Not all of them. Some, like Taran, are rebels. But the main Xel'Thar army, the one attacking us, is under control of something bigger. Something that doesn't want peace. Ryan frowned. And this Void Eater? What is it? Emily sighed. If what he says is true, it's not just a creature. It's a force of nature. It eats planets. It ends civilizations. Ryan ran a hand through his hair. And it's coming here. The next morning, the president spoke through a secure transmission. His voice was tired but firm. Humanity stands united. For the first time in history, we will fight together. Every nation, every soldier, every scientist. We will not go quietly. The new project was named Operation Hopefire, a mission to combine human and alien technology into one powerful defense. Ryan was assigned to command the first squadron of experimental ships. Emily was chosen to lead the science division. Together, they would try to turn alien tech into Earth's only weapon. But as they worked, they discovered something terrifying. Emily's scans showed an enormous energy field deep under the Pacific Ocean, far older than any human creation. It was pulsing with EN energy. It's not alien, she whispered. It's something else. Ryan looked at the readings. You mean it was built before them? She nodded. Maybe even before us. That night, Ryan sat alone on the base roof, staring at the stars. The sky still had faint red streaks from the first attack. He thought about his wife and son. Were they still alive? He didn't know. But he couldn't stop fighting. Emily joined him, holding 2 metal mugs of coffee. You don't talk much, she said. He smiled weakly. I talk when there's something worth saying. They watched a faint meteor pass across the sky. Except it wasn't a meteor. It was an alien ship falling, burning, crashing into the desert. Sirens blared. Ryan jumped to his feet. They rushed to the crash site. Smoke covered the air, and metal pieces were scattered everywhere. Inside the wreck, they found a wounded alien, tall, silver-skinned, and weak. Emily stepped forward carefully. Taran, she whispered. The alien's eyes opened slowly. You heard the message. Ryan raised his weapon. Why should we trust you? Taran coughed, a faint blue glow coming from his chest. Because, the Void Eater is already on its way. Everyone froze. Emily asked softly, how long do we have? Taran's eyes flickered with pain. Not long. It devours stars. Your son will be next. He fell silent. Ryan and Emily looked at each other, fear and determination in their eyes. Back at the base, they studied the coordinates Taran gave them, the same location Emily had found under the Pacific. Ryan clenched his fists. Whatever is down there, we need to see it. If it can stop the Void Eater, it's our only hope. Emily nodded. Then we go deep. They began planning the mission immediately: submarines, drones, and deep-sea suits. The ocean was calling them with its dark secret. But as they prepared to leave, one of the scientists shouted from the control room. Sir! We just detected something new. Ryan turned. What is it? The man pointed at the radar. Massive movement, under the ocean. Something's already there. The lights flickered. The ground shook. And deep below, something ancient, something waiting for centuries, began to wake up. The ocean was dark. So dark that even the strongest floodlights of the submarine barely cut through the inky water. The waves above moved silently, like nothing was alive. But Ryan Cooper, Dr. Emily Carter, and their team knew better. Something ancient waited beneath the surface, something that had been hidden for thousands of years. The mission was simple, and terrifying. Explore the coordinates Taran gave them. Find the source of the mysterious energy pulsing beneath the Pacific Ocean. If it could stop the Void Eater, humanity had a chance. Ryan tightened his harness in the submarine's cockpit. Beside him, Emily checked the instruments for the 100th time. I've never seen readings like this, she whispered. The screen showed enormous energy spikes, far stronger than anything humans or the Xel'Thar had ever created. Taran sat quietly, his silver skin reflecting the dim red lights inside the sub. "It is called the Eternal Core," he said. "It is older than your planet. It can destroy, or save worlds." Ryan's jaw tightened. "And it's down there, waiting for us." Taran nodded. "But be careful. It will test you. Only those worthy may touch it." The submarine plunged deeper. Pressures increased, making the hull creak like an old ship. The sonar picked up strange shapes around them, massive structures that shouldn't exist in the middle of the ocean. Towers, domes, and walls, glowing faintly with a soft blue light. Emily gasped. "It's a city, beneath the ocean." "But how? Who built it?" Ryan didn't answer. He didn't want to think about it. He only knew one thing: this place was dangerous. As they approached, a massive glowing door came into view. It was carved from crystal-like material, covered in symbols that neither human nor Taran could immediately read. The energy spikes grew stronger. The Eternal Core was close. Ryan took a deep breath. "Prepare to dock," he said. "This is it." The submarine's mechanical arms latched onto the door. As the hatch opened, water flowed out into a massive docking bay. The interior of the city was enormous towers of light, flowing energy rivers, and machines that moved on their own. Emily stepped out first, holding a small flashlight. She scanned the walls. "This technology, it's alive." A soft hum echoed through the hall. Then, suddenly, the ground shook. "Everyone, stay alert!" Ryan shouted. From the shadows, robotic sentries rose. Their shapes were strange, half alien, half human. They did not speak, but their eyes glowed red. Ryan raised his gun. Taran stepped forward. "Wait. Let me try something." The sentries paused. Taran extended his hand, and the red eyes flickered, then turned blue. The robots bowed slightly before moving aside. Emily whispered, "They are protecting it, but they are not hostile if you respect it." They walked deeper into the city, following the energy signals. Finally, they reached a massive chamber, the heart of the Eternal Core. It was a crystal unlike anything on Earth. It floated in mid-air, pulsing with light. Energy radiated from it in waves, and the air felt alive. Emily reached out, careful not to touch it. Instruments went wild, energy readings off the charts. This could stop the Void Eater," she whispered. Taran nodded. "But it can also destroy your planet if misused." Ryan glanced around. "Then we need to learn fast. How do we control it?" Before anyone could answer, alarms blared. The ground shook violently. A shadow appeared at the entrance. A massive Xel'Thar fleet had followed them underwater. The invaders were not waiting above, they wanted the Eternal Core. Ryan shouted into the radio. "Prepare for combat. Emily, protect the core at all costs." The team split. Ryan and Taran ran to intercept the first wave of Xel'Thar warriors. The corridor lit up with laser fire. Sparks flew as Ryan's gun hit armored suits, but the Xel'Thar were strong, faster than anything humans had faced. Emily focused on the core. She pressed panels she didn't understand. The crystal responded, light expanding, energy forming protective barriers around the chamber. The core was alive, sensing her intent. Taran shouted from the corridor, "Ryan! Move! They are too many." Ryan glanced back. The alien warriors were closing in. He saw one about to fire directly at Emily. Without thinking, he jumped in front, taking the blast. Sparks flew, and Ryan fell hard. Pain shot through him, but he got up. "I'm not leaving her," he growled. Emily looked at him, eyes wide. "Ryan! You have to focus on the core." But Ryan smiled weakly. "I got it. You, keep it alive." Using her hands, Emily activated a final sequence she didn't fully understand. The crystal blazed with energy, creating a massive shock wave. The Xel'Thar warriors were thrown back, some disabled, some retreating into the dark ocean. Taran helped Ryan up. "It works," he said, breathing heavily. Emily stared at the crystal. "The core, it chooses who is worthy. We're alive because it trusts us, maybe because it trusts humanity." Ryan nodded, looking at the glowing eternal core. "Then we have a chance, a real chance." The team returned to the submarine with the core's energy readings. The ocean around them was calm again, but Ryan knew this peace would not last. Above, the red glow in the sky hinted at the battle still raging on the surface. Below, the eternal core pulsed, waiting. And somewhere, deep in the universe, the Void Eater was moving closer to Earth. Ryan clenched his fists. "We have what we need. Now we fight, for our planet, and for the universe." The stage was set. The Lost City had revealed its secrets, but the war had only just begun. The sky above Earth was on fire. Red streaks of energy tore across the atmosphere as alien ships swarmed the planet. Cities that had survived the first wave of attacks were now under siege. Humanity was fighting back but barely. Captain Ryan Cooper stood on the bridge of a newly built aircraft carrier, converted into a command center. Around him, pilots, soldiers, and engineers worked frantically. The Eternal Core's energy was being integrated into Earth's defense systems. Humanity's first fleet of hybrid human-alien ships powered by core energy was ready for battle. Beside Ryan, Dr. Emily Carter watched the radar. Her fingers flew over controls, monitoring energy shields and weapon systems. Taran stood silently, observing the fleet. "The Void Eater approaches faster than expected," he warned. Ryan clenched his jaw. "Then we hit them before it reaches Earth." The first wave of battle began in orbit. Human ships, shining with blue energy from the core, met the Xel'Thar attackers head-on. Lasers streaked across the black sky, missiles exploded, and massive alien ships collided with the fleet. Ryan's squadron, Squadron Unity, flew at full speed. They weaved between explosions, firing energy beams at the enemy. One Xel'Thar destroyer fired a plasma cannon directly at Ryan's ship. He banked sharply, barely avoiding it. The blast hit a nearby vessel, sending pieces of metal flying into space. Emily's voice came over the radio, calm but urgent. "Ryan, the core's energy is stabilizing. You can use it to overload their shields." Ryan nodded. He aligned the targeting system and unleashed a pulse of pure core energy. The alien destroyer's shields failed instantly, and the ship exploded in a ball of light. On Earth, the battle was just as fierce. Cities were war zones. Soldiers fought alongside alien rebels loyal to Taran. Explosions shook the ground as enemy troops tried to take over military bases. Taran led a small strike team, working with humans to disable enemy landing crafts. They moved with precision, their combined skills making them unstoppable. But the Xel'Thar weren't retreating. Each ship they destroyed was replaced by another, faster and more deadly. Emily activated another sequence from the core. A massive energy shield enveloped key cities, protecting millions of civilians. "It's working," she whispered. "The core is listening." But the battle took a dark turn. One of the human generals, General Hawkins, tried to seize control of the core for himself. He fired a command that could have redirected the core's energy into a massive weapon against the Xel'Thar but also risked destroying Earth. Ryan's heart raced. "Emily! Stop him!" Emily worked frantically, her hands moving faster than ever. I can't override it," she shouted. Taran stepped forward. "We must stop him together." Ryan and Taran led a small team to intercept Hawkins. The general fired at them with advanced weapons, but Ryan dodged and returned fire. Taran's alien powers disrupted Hawkins' systems, allowing Emily to regain control. She sent a pulse through the core, neutralizing the threat. Hawkins fell, defeated. Above the battlefield, the Xel'Thar fleet began retreating but not completely. Their main ship hovered at a distance, larger than any city. A dark shadow followed behind it. Ryan's stomach sank. He knew it, the Void Eater had arrived. Emily's voice trembled over the radio. It's enormous. Its energy, it's like nothing we've seen. Taran's silver eyes glowed. We cannot fight it alone. Only the core can stop it now. Ryan looked at his squadron. We fight for Earth. For humanity. And we fight together with our allies. The core pulsed in response, sending waves of energy through their ships. Shields strengthened, weapons glowed brighter. For the first time, humanity had a real chance. The final clash began. Xel'Thar ships launched massive energy storms. Human ships responded with core-powered beams. Explosions lit up the sky like 1,000 suns. Ryan dodged debris from destroyed vessels, firing relentlessly. Taran led a charge against the enemy fleet, cutting through them with alien precision. Emily monitored the core, pushing it to its limits. I can channel all the energy into the fleet, but it will drain me, she warned. Ryan clenched his fists. Do it. We don't have a choice. A massive pulse shot from the core, engulfing the enemy fleet. Ships exploded, shields shattered, and the Xel'Thar were thrown back into retreat. But above, the Void Eater loomed. Its enormous form stretched across the sky, a living nightmare of shadow and energy. It moved closer to Earth, devouring everything in its path. Ryan's voice was firm. This is it. We go in, or it ends everything. Taran nodded. The core will guide you, but you must be brave. Emily's fingers flew across the controls. I'm ready. Let's save our planet. The stage was set for the final battle. Humanity's fleet, powered by alien technology and the Eternal Core, prepared to confront the Void Eater. The war for Earth was no longer just survival, it was a fight to protect the entire universe. Ryan looked up at the dark, looming shadow. His heart raced, but he didn't feel fear. He felt hope. Hold steady, squadron, he said. This is the day humanity shows it cannot be defeated. And somewhere, deep in space, the universe held its breath. The sky split open. A shadow larger than mountains stretched across Earth. The Void Eater had arrived. Its form shimmered with black energy, devouring everything in its path. Stars in the distance seemed to dim as it approached. Cities on Earth shook under its immense gravity. Captain Ryan Cooper gritted his teeth as he gripped the controls of his core-powered fighter. His squadron hovered beside him, shields glowing blue. Beside Ryan, Taran's eyes glowed silver. It is stronger than we imagined, the alien said calmly. Dr. Emily Carter sat in the command ship, hands flying over the core's interface. I can channel all the core's energy into one strike, she said, voice shaking slightly. But, it may destroy everything nearby, including us. Ryan clenched his jaw. Do it. We have no choice. Humanity depends on it. The Void Eater's shadow reached Earth's orbit. Its tendrils lashed out, striking ships, buildings, and mountains alike. Entire fleets exploded in blue and red fire. Panic spread through the human and alien allies, but Ryan's squadron held their formation. This is it, squadron, he shouted over the radio. For Earth. For humanity. The core pulsed with energy, sending waves through every ship connected to it. Shields expanded, weapons charged, and for the first time, humanity's fleet glowed with a light that rivaled the Void Eater's darkness. Taran led the charge, slicing through enemy fighters with alien precision. Ryan followed, weaving between explosions, firing relentlessly. Emily's fingers moved faster than ever. She opened a channel of energy from the core, connecting it to Ryan's fighter. A beam of pure light shot forward, hitting the Void Eater's massive form. For a moment, it recoiled then retaliated. The Void Eater lashed out, striking Ryan's fighter. The ship shook violently. Sparks flew. Ryan gritted his teeth and pushed the engines to maximum. "I'm not dying here," he shouted. The battle above Earth was chaos. Ships exploded like fireworks, energy beams tore through the sky, and the screams of the dying echoed across the battlefield. But the core's energy held strong. Emily's voice, calm but determined, guided every strike. "Ryan, aim for the center. The core will amplify the attack." Ryan nodded. He aligned the fighter's weapons with the Void Eater's glowing core, a black hole of energy pulsating in its chest. He fired. The beam struck true. The Void Eater screamed, a sound felt more than heard. Its form wavered. Space itself seemed to bend around it. But it wasn't enough. Ryan's fighter was hit again, thrown off course. His ship spun out of control, heading toward the planet below. "Ethan. Laura," Ryan whispered. He thought of his family, hope and love fueling his determination. Taran saw him falling. "I'll catch him," the alien shouted. With a burst of alien energy, Taran grabbed Ryan's ship and steadied it. Ryan shook his head. "No. I have to finish this." Emily's voice came over the radio, almost breaking. "Ryan, if you do this, you may not survive." Ryan's eyes hardened. "I know. But if I don't, everything dies. Earth dies. Humanity dies." He locked his fighter on the Void Eater's core and initiated a full overload. The core's energy surged through him, through the fighter, and into the black mass before him. The Void Eater roared, a sound that shattered the atmosphere, a scream of rage and pain. On Earth, the sky exploded with blinding light. Energy waves from the core radiated across the planet, melting the shadows, pushing the darkness back into the void. The Void Eater began to shrink, breaking apart under the sheer force of pure, focused energy. Ryan's voice echoed one last time over the comms. "Emily. Taran, humanity, fight on." Then silence. The fighter was gone. The core's energy dissipated, leaving a calm blue glow over the planet. The Void Eater was no more. Earth was safe. Days later, survivors emerged from shelters and ruined cities. Humanity had won, but at a cost. Ryan Cooper was gone, the hero who gave everything to save Earth. Emily Carter stood on a hill overlooking New York City. The sky was blue, clouds drifting peacefully. Children played among the ruins, unaware of the war that had just ended. Taran stood beside her, watching quietly. Emily held a small crystal, a shard from the eternal core. "He saved us all," she said softly. "Ryan, he didn't just save Earth. He saved the universe." A child ran up to her, pointing at the stars. "Will they come back?" he asked, eyes wide. Emily smiled. "Maybe, but next time, we'll be ready. Humanity is stronger now. We fought together, and we won. No force in the universe can break us if we stand united." Taran placed a hand on her shoulder. "The Void Eater is gone, for now. But the eternal core remains. And so does hope." Emily looked at the horizon. Cities were in ruins, but life had begun again. People were rebuilding. Nations that once fought each other were now allies. Humanity had faced extinction and survived. Somewhere, deep in the cosmos, stars twinkled as if in celebration. And in those stars, the story of humanity's courage, of Ryan Cooper's sacrifice, and of the day the universe changed forever, would live on forever. The battle had ended. The war for survival had forged a new era, an era where humanity was no longer just a small, fragile species on one tiny planet. Humanity was a force to be reckoned with. And the universe would never forget it.